to order, recording of members present and absent.
Barton,
Here.
Kane,
Here.
McDermott,
Here.
Hanson, and Pingleton are absent.
Open meeting compliance statement read.
I, the undersigned clerk of the Board of Education of the Alva Independent School District, number 1, Woods County, Oklahoma, certify that prior to December the 15th of the last calendar year, the date, time, place of this regular meeting was posted in the office of the county clerk, Woods County, Oklahoma. I also certify that at least 24 hours prior to this meeting, excluding Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, notice of the date, time, place, and agenda of this meeting was posted in prominent public view in the office of the superintendent.
Carried. Number 3, consent agenda. All of the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature, normally approved by one board vote, unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following. Are there any additions of items of new business to the agenda? Minutes of the August 5th, 2024 meeting, approval of the finance report, approval of the extra duty assignment schedule, approval of the activity fund report, approval of the activity fund fundraisers, approval of activity fund inter-account transfers, approval of the child nutrition, approval of the board policy and or district policies, and declare the following items as surplus. Back to the minutes. Did all of you get a chance to look at the minutes?
I did.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Let's do one at the very end.
Yeah,
You
so
wanted
you
the
can
very
do all
end.
Oh,
one.
I forgot it.
Then take that back. I don't move.
Okay, so now let's look at the financial report.
Okay, first thing on financial reports, the August investments. Pull that up. Let me see it.
That's actually readable. Maybe it always is.
Just that going through each one individually, the total invested in the general fund is $5,296,000. It's the total, is the final balance on general fund. And the building fund, there's a balance of $3,469,000. Let's see. The sinking fund is Fund 41. There's an $11,000 balance. I'm probably going to move that to the building fund sooner than later. That's old carryover from a previous bond issue several years ago. So, I've kind of left it there as we look down the road towards the next one, the fund starting for that. So that's why it's still there. So total invested between everything is $9,271,000. That's what we have invested right now as far as investments go. On the extra duty schedule, there's 4. I think there's 4. Julie Bennyfield to change mentoring at Lincoln. All the rest is we approved. Sandra Sweatfeather for a site testing coordinator in Longfellow. We agreed to do that. We have the site testing coordinator at Lincoln for Emma White, and Debbie Whitted as a assistant softball coach in the middle school. Are the 4 additions to the extra duty stipend on that item. In the activity funds, expenditure summaries. We'll pull up the one from August. We're starting to get the money in for the marketing plan. Look at account number 803. We received $46,405 in August. That's the marketing plan for the most part. Some of that's gate and that kind of thing, but for the most part, that's marketing. Football gate last Friday night. I had a pretty decent crowd that received about $4,200 from that. So it's a good crowd there. When you figure everybody's got a pass and everybody sitting, in the tiers and things like that, that was just the cash from the gate. People that didn't have the other stuff. So had a really good crowd there. draw your attention to child nutrition. We received $11,000 from gift money related to child nutrition as well. Other than that, those are the other things we received. It's from different fundraisers, like the cheerleaders have $65,39.75 as fundraisers. So, that's kind of the big things in the activity fund. Speaking of fundraisers, we do have one fundraiser request. It is with the library. Crum and caroling. They got with the city council, I think that's who it was, or the chamber. It's city council. It's with the Alva chamber. It's kind of like singing Valentine's, but it's Christmas carols. And so they do the thing. So I don't know if they approached the chamber approached them, but they got together, and that's a fundraiser they wanted to approve. So I thought it was a really neat idea.
That's cute.
Really neat idea.
The chamber's been very proactive with what happened this Christmas, so that's exciting.
The last thing on the consent agenda is, I should say the next thing. I'm going to come back to policy.
Okay.
I want to go through the financial stuff first. In the general fund, expenditure report, just bring your attention to a couple of, a lot of that's background checks.
So
You want to go ahead and do the surplus items?
we need to finish the three so we can approve
Then we'll
those.
move over to four.
Is it all on the same?
Four.
Okay.
If we move to 4, we'll.
3.9 is for
We've done,
policy.
we still have 3.9 and 3.10, and if there's anything.
Can we table that?
You can, I think if you would do it, the purchase orders, go do that. We just gotta remember to go back to
Okay.
Okay.
consent
We'll
agenda and
move
pick it
on,
up.
and then we'll retro back.
I was just gonna try to do all the finances together.
Okay.
Yep, we're good.
Okay.
I guess we do whatever we want.
Yeah.
All pays the same.
One thing I wanted to bring up, purchase order number 201 on the general fund is to COSA. That is a registration for a workshop called Uplifting Classrooms. That is a workshop we're sending our emergency certified teachers for sure.
And new.
And new, okay. So new teachers to the district, emergency certified new teachers. So this Uplifting Classrooms to get them some additional training, classroom management, and things like that. I really feel like we need to, it sells in that whole grow your own teachers, and in Oklahoma with the situation we're in, teacher shortages, we need to grow our own, and people that's committed to Alva, so that's just bring attention to that. That's just one of the ways we're doing that. Purchase orders 215 through 219, with the exception of 216, is OETT grant stuff here in the high school. They're buying three really cool things. They're buying some Mac Mini computers that'll go with our media program. Mr. Eckhart's is where that was coming from. They're also buying a laser cutter from Blowforge, and then computers and 3D printers. It's all part of, so between Ms. Tyree and Mr. Eckhart.
And that's all, the laser cutter is going to where? What program?
I think it's in Mary Tyree's classroom.
Aeronautical, or whatever it is.
Yeah, Tech Ed.
Tech Ed.
So, those three are between Chris's media program and her Tech Ed program.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna go one of the two, and they may use them together.
Right.
I would have the expectation we'd
Yeah, sure.
do some graphic design in Chris's class and laser cutting, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
it's all part of that career tech program.
Is the Mac Mini like a mini iPad like thing?
It's it's a Macintosh computer, it's an Apple computer.
Apple computer, just a,
It's just, Mac Mini's a little guy. I mean,
oh, that'd be fun.
in today's world of solid state drives and things like that, yeah, it is.
It's bigger than a phone, it's smaller than a tablet.
There's, we have 386 computers that take up half this table, and now we have terabytes on the phone. So
Yeah.
technology's really expanded, right?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, Mac Mini, it's just a, it's a desktop Mac or Apple computer. It's a solid state drive and something like this.
And that'll be used also, we can take it.
Yes.
Because, I mean, Mac is, I mean, a lot of the digital stuff, and
Yeah, a
nobody
lot
else
of
uses.
your graphics and
Yeah.
digital stuff, that's all.
I
I
mean,
would
even
assume
out at
that's
our place, you
probably
kind of go,
with,
who's using Mac?
A lot with his video editing.
Design, and some of those
graphic
people
design, that
that
kind of
are more
stuff.
creative than me. Okay, thanks.
Anyway, that's the general fund,
I got one question.
okay.
That speech therapy, Tiny Eye Therapy Service, is that the software, that 25,209?
That is our, that's our virtual,
Is that just the
Speech
first
therapy.
payment of our person?
that's just
per
the company
service.
made, yeah, to pay them.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was
That's,
something different.
that's the incomers to pay that.
Well, it's kind of like replacing a person.
I'm gonna call it a Zoom meeting.
It is.
It's, yeah, that virtual speech therapy.
Okay. Now, of course, it's working, or we wouldn't be using it, so.
Well, the neat thing about it means it is technology-based, but it's a live person on the other side of it. So short of having them sitting right next to you, you're still interacting with a live person. So,
And it's one-on-one.
yes, I believe so.
We do have some small groups that
They're all
are.
working on the same
I was
challenges.
skeptical of it, but honestly, probably most of our kids, majority of them use this screen in their life every day.
Sure.
So it's
They're
not
kind-
that
they're
they're
more
used to
comfortable
looking
with
at a
it.
screen, so it's actually gone pretty well. And we've had some good, at Washington, we've had good virtual speech teachers that really were proactive, and they play games, and they make it fun, despite not being there to give them a high five or whatever. But
And I know they work well with our teachers, so whatever that IEP designates for that student is, if they need more intensive to be individual, it's gonna be individual. If they, group settings, the least restrictive environment, they're gonna be the group.
Makes sense.
And that Tiny Eye Services works with our people to blend that, so.
Sorry. I was
No, that's a great clarification.
The GF payroll, there's 2 new teachers, or paraprofessionals that we hired. And the building fund,
Now, that gift fund payroll is all the scholarships, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
In the building fund, there's just a couple, of $13,330 to BNC Lawn Service. I asked them for August and September to mow all the campuses in the district, and get things cleaned up, sidewalks edged, buildings weeded, all the things. So that's what that is. He texted me and said, probably coming, grass is starting to slow down, so it'll be every 2 weeks through September, which is fine. So, to bring that, the American Iron and Construction for $13,691. That was an add-on that we asked them to do on the indoor. Talk about that in a minute in my communications. When they were replacing all the lights and fixing the louvers and things like that over in that facility. And then, if you look down the list, there's a couple dishwasher repairs, HVAC repairs, just kind of normal wear and tear repairing stuff.
The groundskeeper was there.
I've had some feedback from people commenting on that in a positive way.
I did talk to, I talked to some other leaders in town. There may be a co-op we can do next summer, try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Good.
I'd like to have a separate grounds crew that takes care of our
Right.
facilities, takes that pressure off of our custodial staff.
Got plenty to do in 8 short weeks of summer in some buildings.
Oh,
which is,
yeah, well, and if it rains,
Yeah, you're in trouble.
you're never caught up.
No.
Right.
We'll have a better plan going in this spring,
Sure.
going into next summer. So.
But there's been a massive improvement.
Number 51, the last one there, is to Corbin Mertz and Haney. It's an architectural consulting fee. It's in the neighborhood of $70,000 we owe them for the things. So, again, we're going to have to take a hard look at what we're doing with
Yes,
the Lincoln facility and some of that.
yes.
And start getting a solid plan and, you know, get the community and committees, all things together to do to look at a bond issue probably a year from now or so. Anyway, that's coming. So those kind of big things in the building, so I want to bring your attention to. Gift fund. Purchase orders 2, 3, and 4 is the high school vocal program finishing out the donations they have from Alva State last year. And then 5 through 12 are scholarship payments. Do you want to approve financials now, or I guess we need to go back and talk about?
You wanna do 4 and then we'll back up?
Mine aren't numbered. Whatever I pulled up. What is 4?
4 is the vote to approve purchase orders, and we looked at all those, so we could get a motion to approve item number 4.
I move that we approve item 4.
Second.
Kane,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes. We'll go back up and finish 3. And what do we lack there?
I've got,
We did the extra duty,
I've got,
board policies.
yeah,
3-9.
policy and surplus are the two things. Lincoln surplus, real quick, it's, we did ask her to double check with everybody in the district, make sure this wasn't things somebody else might need in a different site. It's old materials and things like that, so I'd recommend to surplus that. Nothing too earth-shattering there. On the policies, I want to spend a minute talking about some of this. So I added approval of board policy and or district procedures to our consent agenda, just kind of as an anchor there. So I've got 3 policies and a procedure we'll look at. Policies EIEC, EIED, and FEH. The last 2, EIED and FEH, are policies we already have. There are amendments to those policies. Graduation requirements. If you remember at the pre-conference we went to a couple weeks ago, the OSSBA pre-conference, we were talking about the changes in law with graduation requirements. What it amounts to, these changes have to be implemented by the time our 7th graders graduate. Okay? It talks about the 8th graders in the 25-26 school year and things. Effectively, that means this year's 7th graders is who's going to have to buy, or is the last year. So we've got until then to get this implemented. I would talk to Dr. Weiswanger and some of the counselors and start moving towards it. It's not a big change from what we've been doing. We don't have to declare them as college-bound or work ready anymore.
No.
It's one graduation track.
Right.
Okay. They have beefed it up. The only major change in core classes is they've added one more unit of math.
Right.
It used to be 4x3x3x3, now it's 4x4x3x3. So 4 math, 4 English, 3 science, and 3 history. Another neat change is this 6 pathway units. It may take a year or 2 to get some of that implemented with ICAP. But that's going to include additional math, science, English. Now, the whole idea of this career pathway, of these pathways, was with our career tech programs, we're going to get credit for these pathways through some of our TSA or FFA programs or FCCLA or the Tech Center, some of that kind of stuff. So
And there's OCAS numbers, and we have to be sure and transcript correctly, and that, I mean, it's just a coding number, which,
So-
why not have another coding number for something with schools, but that's just something with graduations, you have to be sure. You can't just say you took career tech. I mean, when I was in high school, you could, now it needs to say electrical, and then it needs to say, what did you do in electrical, did you do wiring, did you do, so it's really, which is okay, because it gives it credit, keeps credit for what they did, so I think it's a good move, it does take some implementation, so.
what's neat about this, thing that I like about this policy, or the way the law was written and developed the policy is really what happened here. I was a math teacher, so I gravitate to math.
Sure.
Right? It's in all the subject areas. But in math, it talks about, so you've got to have 3 units from this list. Okay, I'm looking at the list on the left side for math. And you still got to have a unit of algebra. You have to have 2 that's algebra 2, geometry, trig, the things we have now. Right? That 4th math can come from like a contextual math class. At the high school, or at Technology Center, or it could be college algebra at the university, right? So it just, it opens the opportunities for our kids. And if I remember right, I think I know Dr. Haken at Career Tech Director and the Board of Regents, I know they were communicating with this was developed with the legislature last spring. So
I'm very excited about it,
it-
because I
it
think a student that has the 3 foundational math classes and then is in a career tech class, that can count for it. Because we do math in all of it, it just doesn't come out of the textbook like regular classroom school does, but they're doing math, which they better be if they're working on like $80,000 car, you know?
Policy
Running
FEH.
wires in my house, so.
Policy FEH is deals with transfer of special ed students. It's another one of those laws that had to be tweaked a little bit to make things fit within the confines of open transfer laws that were passed a couple years ago. So I won't go through all of that. But that's essentially what it's doing, is putting some parameters on.
That was all, I mean, we were lucky to go to that pre-conference, we learned a lot about
Yes,
these
yeah,
things.
that was a good-
Very good
Very,
questions
yeah.
that I would have never thought about. It's good.
It was.
EIEC is a new policy we've never had before. It is dealing with release time courses. It said in the policy, state law says a student can leave your facility for 3 hours a day for religious or moral instruction taught by an independent entity off of school campus. And we're supposed to give credit for that. So this is the policy allowing that to happen.
What would be an example? Do we have, well, I'm trying to put you on the spot, but I'm just trying to think. Do we have something in Alva that would qualify for that? Do we have like catechism courses or?
So
What, I was trying to think in my mind, what do we have in place that would qualify?
if we had a student want to leave campus, go to baptism classes,
Okay,
I think would be
yeah,
It's never,
typically, historically, our churches have always done that.
right.
After school hours are working really well.
That's what
expect that to
we've
change
done.
at all. Well, I don't think that's changed at all.
I was gonna say, it may not change much for our community.
I just was trying to get an
I'm
example in
looking
my head what that would be for us.
If they,
That's probably the one that pops in my mind that would affect Alva the most. But you get down to Oklahoma City where you have
Right.
Cassidy and Cassia Hall and some of those,
We might
some
have
of those
religion
schools,
classes.
where you could have a student that's in the public school that wants to play football for Piedmont or whoever, and then go to catechism classes for 2 or 3 hours. So I think in the metro areas, you would have that a lot more than we're gonna have in
I
Alva.
was just, I wasn't trying to be
suspect.
difficult, I was just trying to think, what in Alva would qualify for that?
That's kind of where my mind went.
but
I
it
mean,
may
it's-
evolve.
I can't see that it would be a bad thing, just, doing something productive.
I think it's along those lines of the direction our legislature's going, the direction some of our state leadership's going. I think we need to get out of the box we've been in for really 50 years.
It's just no more than 3 class periods per week, is what
3
this
hours.
policy, right?
Right. That's my understanding.
So 125 class periods per school year. So, but it doesn't, they can, if they're missing a core curriculum class to attend that, they just have to make up the work that they missed that hour.
So that gets tough on the kids.
It really does.
They're
Puts it in
gonna
a real,
leave.
that's a really unique.
I can't imagine leaving calculus class
I know.
3 times a week
And trying to make that
and then
up.
trying to make that up. So I think this,
But if you were in,
Challenge.
competitive athletics, you could do that 7th
That's
hour
right.
easily,
That's
3
right.
times a week, and be very productive for you.
it's like anything else. I think, when our kids get to a certain age, you can't do everything.
No.
So I think it's just another, I'm choosing to view this as, it's another elective, it's another opportunity for our students, that if they choose to do that, then we have to give up something on the other side, right? It's just,
Opportunities.
that we can't do everything, so. That is the new one. And then the last one, so those are the 3 policies. They're driven by legislation that we need to put into place.
Right.
Then I want to talk about the procedure with uniform rotation. looking at the old uniform rotation, I've got it highlighted in yellow. It was a 5-year rotation. So what would happen, each uniform be used for 5 years, and honestly, that gets a little strenuous on athletic uniforms after 5 years. I, as a coach, me as an educator, always want my kids to be able to have a uniform, a new uniform in every sport at least once in their high school career. So, had some stuff. If we were to put that on a 4-year rotation, then it would show basketball need to be ordered this spring. So if I bump that up to the fall, they would have basketball uniforms in December for this season. We already bought cheer and band uniforms for this year. So that would allow us to get on a 4-year rotation. That would allow every student or every athlete to have a new uniform in every sport at least one time in their high school career, right? So by modifying that schedule, that would allow that. Also, at the bottom, the clause in there, all apparel used to represent Alva Public Schools in competition or performance shall be approved by the superintendent or their designee. Okay, so that allows our athletic directors and principals and administration the flexibility to maintain an image for Alva in the public, so we can all move in the same direction.
In the event, for example, a year or so ago, we had just an enormous amount of kids that went out on track. And so they had to order more uniforms, as legal.
I've got that fill in as needed. Yeah.
I didn't see that. So
We're gonna always,
that's your fault. Is it in this form or in it?
I've got it at the bottom underneath everything, it's an
I
asterisk.
see it. It's-
Fill in as
okay,
needed.
got it.
But that would be,
That's a great problem to have.
yeah, it is.
Well, and you're gonna have, how long ago was it? 2016, I think, we had bought new uniforms, brand new. First away game, we drive to Balco, and I have a uniform ribbed from top to bottom between the numbers, wasn't even on seam. Okay, brand new Nike uniforms. Things like that happen,
Sure they do.
right? So we need the flexibility that our administrators, our leadership, needs the flexibility to fill in as needed, wherever it is. So I think the key is we need to go through.
I like the 4
leadership.
years that if they're active,
If they get
within 1 year of the 4 years,
So
you're a
that's the
student at Alva
procedural-
High would have not
That's a
been.
procedural change I'd like to put in
Okay.
and give our leadership the authority they need to
Okay.
move forward.
I like that too.
Okay, so that's all I've got for, I guess, number 3. Sorry about skipping
That's all
around.
right.
So I move that we approve items 3.1 through 3.10.
Second.
Dermot,
Yes,
Kane,
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
now we're ready for the superintendent's report.
The only resignation I've got, Abby Williams was a professional. She resigned. Any details on it? Abby resigned, we accepted her resignation. Pull that report up. Already talked about a couple of these things, we got a little more depth. We've had several AC units needing repaired. I've got a couple companies bring estimates to us. Example, in the cafeteria here in the high school, it's a window unit that's out, hasn't worked. But I don't think it's worked since school started. So I've got them pricing a mini split to put in there that's gonna be more, should last longer, be more efficient, things like that. Okay. I know we need to put a mini split on the girls' locker and softball field. It's got a little window unit in it, it's just, the window unit's not big enough to keep up with the size of that. So they're gonna price some of that kind of stuff. Then we just had general repairs on HVAC. They've completed the light upgrade in the indoor facility on the turf section piece. All the lights were replaced with LED fixtures. They had to cut the nets and sew them back anyway, so they got all that done. The louvers on this east side of the building, pigeons were getting in, where it was coming from. And they so the motor's burned up trying to open a louver that was bent, it wouldn't move. Okay, so the motors are burned up, the louvers are bent, all the things. Mr. Bixler called me, went out with that, went ahead and replaced all four. He had two. You're gonna have to replace two of them. So we got talking. The other two were kind of on the last leg. So we replaced all four louvers. I said, well, how are we gonna prevent that the next time? Right? And so that's where the idea came of putting the covers on the cages on the outside, the expanded metal grate, so that birds can't get into it, and then replace the motors. So all that's back working again. Okay. So the exhaust system there works, getting fresh air, all the things. All the lights have been replaced. Next step's going to be going into the weight room and doing the same thing. So I've got him, and I've got, I think, on Northwest Line maybe. We've got a couple that are going to price replacing those fixtures. Okay. So working real hard to get that facility back where it needs to be.
Good.
New activity bus has been delivered. When I wrote this, I said the wrap should be completed this week. He got it done this afternoon. I noticed the football team took it to Watonga. So I'm going to have Steve put it on the square tomorrow morning and show it off a little bit.
Good.
The activity bus is here and done.
Somebody needs to go out there and direct traffic. Just drive along going.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun watching people.
Now Paul's eye would pull that.
Get out there with the coffee stand.
Yeah, really, it's like, it's pretty impressive. I was telling Mr. Bashirs when we went, the girls went to Prague? No, not Prague. Purcell.
Washington, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
the buses are always parked out, you know, and our old buses always stood out. But this one just stood out even though it didn't have one marking on it. I mean, it looked like,
Big old white
it
one.
looked like the granddaddy of all the yellow school buses.
It was good size, but we didn't know who it was.
It was beautiful. I do.
It's a neat bus.
That
It
is,
is
It's neat.
gorgeous.
but that looks good.
Yeah, it is.
New website's up and running. We made that conversion
Yes.
today. Right? Was today the first day?
It's
No,
come on.
we took the website over last week.
Saturday, maybe Friday. I
Um,
don't know. I got rid of the old one.
In July, we approved that policy DHAC. That was the school communication.
Right.
So rooms or after G, you're gonna get notices that parents can sign up in rooms, and that's the one-on-one communication with the teacher, the coach, the whoever.
Okay.
It's kind of a one-stop shop. It's nice being able to send out, I can choose up to 8 modes of communication, send one message goes to all the places.
Yeah, I'll get it covered.
Yeah. So, anyway, the new website's up.
Okay.
Kind of talk enrollment a little bit. Now that the dust is settling from school beginning, you see all the numbers there for each site. Total enrollment right now in Alva is 1,049 students. That's an average of 75 kids per class. So, staying pretty solid right now. I think that's pretty close to where we were last year. So, that's 3 or 4 classrooms per class.
Looks nice.
So anyway, so okay, that's my report.
Thank you. Okay, number 6, items of current business. 6.1, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the estimate of fees for 2025.
Just take no action on this, we put it on there because we thought we might have it. We don't have to schedule a special board meeting
Okay,
before the 1st of October to approve that and get it to the excise board.
we can do that. Have to do that before. 6.2, discussion with possible board action, appoint the superintendent to review results of the National Criminal History Record Searches for fiscal year 25.
That gives me the authority to review the background checks for our new hires.
Okay, can we do these singly motion? I need a motion to.
So moved.
Second.
Barton,
Yes.
Kane,
Yeah.
McDermott.
Yes. 6.3, discussion with possible board action. I jumped back, sorry. 6.3, discussion with possible board action, vote to allow the superintendent to sign activity fund checks with an electronic signature.
Being now a purchase order system, we can upload signatures into it. By the time like with the activity fund, they put in a purchase order, Vicky's gonna approve it, I'm gonna approve it, Heather's gonna write the check, and then she has to sign it, and I don't have to sign it as well. This allows an electronic signature, because there's days that Heather's, if we have a referee change, she has to write the check right now, and there's no telling where I'm at in the day, so it takes care of some of that.
Good. So, motion to approve 6.3?
So moved.
Second.
Kane,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes. 6.4, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the following contracts for the 24-25 school year. And these are all three we've had before, correct?
Yes.
So we can
No.
approve them all at the same
The,
time?
the EMS contract is new. It's not new, it's something we've always done, we just put it in writing. EMS one put it in writing. That is that's that Riley boat right after we have to have ambulance every football game, and then on call for all the other stuff, so. Head Start is the food service agreement to prepare lunches for the Head Start down the street here.
And Oklahoma Department of Career Technology, it's just the same one.
That's the agreement with Career Tech to have our programs like FFA and NCCLA.
Can you do those all together?
I think we can.
Ms. Terry, is that okay?
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve 6.4.1, 6.4.2, and 6.4.3 as presented.
I second.
Kane,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Singleton. I'm sorry. In my head I was thinking Hanson, I'm like, no, don't say that. I said McDermott.
I was listening, honestly.
Maybe it's like you.
6.5, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the internal activities committee for fiscal year 25. The administrator will be Vicki Nislonger, Dalton Beeler, Jeremy Jones, Valerie Ryder, Tina Pettis, Adam Lloyd, and parent Ashley Ferguson. Internal activities committee. Sounds like quite a job.
I move that we approve the internal activities committee.
Second.
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
6.6, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the gifted and talented committee for fiscal year 25. Parents of gifted and talented students will be Courtney Nezarella and Casey Adair. Teacher of elementary students, April Ridgway. Teacher of middle school students, Sue Whipple. Teacher of high school students, Kara Brock. Counselors, Valerie Ryder, Stephanie Nichols, Tina Pettis, and Administrator Stephanie Martini.
I'll make a motion we approve 6.6 as presented.
I second.
Barton,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes. Item number 6.7, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the out-of-state travel request for the FFA livestock judging team to travel to Person, Kansas on September the 16th, 2024.
We've got a livestock judging competition up there. It is out of state, so it's
I move we approve item 6.6.
6.7 is that the thing I was talking?
I'm sorry, 6.7, yes, sorry.
I'll do second 6.7.
Okay?
McDermott,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Barton.
Yes. My big jump back one.
Squeeze your glasses.
No, it's this.
No,
It's
mine
jumping back.
It is,
Finally, I
it jumps
just
around
finished
like I
it.
have to go.
What are you laughing at?
You did, you just keep reading along and it
Just
jumps.
Just jumped back and I missed it.
Yeah, I totally got the whole consent thing out of order, so
Why does it have it all covered?
keep my mouth shut.
Technology is great when it works.
Yeah.
6.8, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the AEA contract for the 24-25 school year.
There's 4 changes, really 2 significant. Scroll to find them.
Are they in red?
No,
I haven't looked, but I
page 4 of the contract, under 2.8. There's 2 places we added, political campaign materials shall be prohibited for item B and C. That's using employee mailboxes and school bulletin boards and things. And that's also using school equipment like typewriters, copy machines, that such. That's really just complying with statute.
You don't have typewriters anymore?
Well,
A lot.
we can find you if you have one.
There was that one.
Sorry.
How do they teach typing now? Is it all on computers?
Keyboard.
Keyboard?
It's not even called typing, it's called keyboarding.
Wow, okay. Well,
On page 5,
Yeah, it's
under
interesting.
3.2B, you say teacher work year shall consist of 180 contract days. We change that to say no more than 180 contract days, so that we can be more in line with the neighboring districts. We talk about concurrent enrollment, you talk about career tech and all the things, and we were going, our calendar's about a week and a half, 2
They
weeks long.
felt like it was.
Some of, that should not affect support staff, those are separate contracts. Okay, so, protect their contract as well. So, there was that one, and then, let's find it. Notification of job openings, it's on page 7, number 3.8. We added a piece in there, we got into this. It used to say that, we had to post it internally for 5 days before we posted externally. The statute says that a teacher has to resign by the 3rd Monday of June, I think is what, somewhere around the 3rd week of June. If they don't resign by then, we can hold their certification. And the climate we're in the state, I mean, that's just a deadline, puts a ceiling on it. If you're gonna recruit a teacher from anywhere in the state, you better do it before that day, right? Their school that has them hired is not going to release them until they find a replacement for sure. So, we kind of got into that a little bit this summer. We got a little down to the wire on a couple hires. So, talked to the committee. We put a piece in there that says the same thing. We're going to post internally for 5 days, except from May 1st to August 30th. Okay, so from May 1st to August 30th, posting is going to go out internally, but it's also going to go out externally immediately. Okay, so it gives us that May, June, July, and August to try and recruit somebody without having to do the 5-day waiting. So, anyway, that's the 4 changes. The rest of that is identical to what it was last year.
I move we approve item 6.8.
Second.
Barton,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Pingleton.
No.
Oh my gosh! McDermott! I am. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
You don't
Terrible.
ever make mistakes.
They better start showing up.
They find out they're responsible for this.
I just got everybody out.
Oh my gosh!
That's your fault.
Oh, why not?
We don't have any.
You're the new guy on block, so why not? We're gonna,
Signing of documents approved by earlier action. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
so move. I can do that one.
You got this, Terry. You got this.
Been moved.
Take a look.